Hey guys, welcome to this video. In this lecture, I'm going to teach you about the three types of suppliers you'll be dealing with when you're applying for US-based dropshipping dealer accounts. So let's get into it. So there's three types. Suppliers who will approve you without any issues is the first. So these are the coolest suppliers to work with. Often they are sometimes the best suppliers as well because they have a dropshipping program already. They're easy to convince to set you up with an account. Often they'll even have a become a dealer page on their website. So you can either email them or just fill out that become a dealer contact form, and they'll get back to you within a day or two and let you know that you're approved, and then they'll give you all the information from there. So yeah, they're often some of the best because they know why that they want more dropship dealers, and they have assets already prepared for you, and they're just easy to work with in general because they already have their systems in place. So while they are not the biggest brands in the industry, they're definitely some of the brands that are the best to work with for dropshipping. So with that said, you may find more online competitors when selling their products, but that's okay because in the optimization section of this course, you'll learn how to set yourself apart from them. Generally, you will find less brick and mortar competition, which is really good because if customers can't find those products locally, then they have more of a reason to buy from you. And you can definitely win big with those suppliers' products because they're optimized for online retail, which is awesome. So with that said, generally you'll find that maybe 50 to 60% of the suppliers in a market are going to be suppliers like these. So you'll definitely be able to get approved with a lot of suppliers, which is great. Now there are a few suppliers that will take a longer time to approve you, and this is the second type of supplier that I generally work with. Most often these are actually smaller businesses. Suppliers that don't have a separate accounting department that handles all of their account setups and stuff like that. They want to make sure that you're a business that's worth working with, that you're not a newbie, that you're not just going to, toot their horn and then not actually bring them any sales. So often they'll require a phone call. It's because the owner or the person in charge of the new accounts wants to verify that you are who you say you are and that you're confident enough and have a complete marketing plan so they know you aren't that newbie or, that's going to just toot their horn and not actually bring them any sales or worthwhile relationship. So you definitely are going to need to call these people if they don't reply back to your emails, which is fine. And they're generally really nice people, depending on the market. And it really just depends. So just be prepared for that. Generally speaking, this is not how most companies are, but there are like 20 to 30% that are like this. Now, because they're smaller companies, they probably also have a smaller marketing department. And they probably also haven't done as many marketing things that you probably will find with the bigger companies. So with that said, it'll be a little bit more difficult to get sales for these companies, generally speaking too. So while it's good to have them, it's also good to understand that fact that you should definitely put most of your effort into marketing the ones that have already done a lot of marketing themselves. Now there is a third type of suppliers who won't approve you, okay? And don't take it personally. Suppliers who won't approve you, they either sell direct. In other words, they have all their own sales channels. They either have their own website, they sell through Amazon or eBay, something like that. They already have like a separate sales and marketing department. Or they maxed out their amount of dealers they're comfortable having. If they have so many dealers that are online, the competition gets insane and it gets harder for any one of those dealers to actually find, the budget to market their products. The cost per click goes up, and the cost for like organic and stuff like that goes up. So it doesn't really make sense for them to add more dealers indefinitely. And also they might have had bad experiences with dealers providing end consumers with bad customer service, and that is possible. And when they find that there's really bad experiences, sometimes the owners get emotional and distraught, and they just cut out certain dealers, or they cut out their entire dealer program and just go and sell direct. I've seen that happen a lot too. Sometimes these can be the biggest brands in the industry where they've gotten so many sales and gotten so big that they just realize that they need to handle everything inside in their own marketing, sales, and support departments. They've kind of grown beyond the dropship model, which is totally understandable, and that's okay. So you just have to understand who you are, your role in the industry, and which suppliers that you are going to work best with. And understand that some of these suppliers do exist, and it's okay to not get approved with them because it will just take more time and more follow-up. Some of their dealers will drop out, and then you're the new dealer that will take their place. It's kind of like playing dealer musical chairs with some of these suppliers. So although they take more time to get approved with, they're definitely worth following up with because their products probably sell really well and also have a ton of people looking to buy them, which will bring more traffic to your website. So when you don't get approved for a supplier at first, you just take a note, and then every 3 to 6 months, you follow up with them and you let them know how things are going for you, and you let them know that people have been reaching out to you to buy their products, and you've had to sell them on your brands instead of their brand products, and that you feel bad about that, but it's what you've had to do, and other things like that. And often you'll get approved eventually. Just keep trying, don't give up. And lastly, definitely take notes the whole time. Make sure that you keep notes throughout the supplier approval process within the suppliers tab of your dropshipping master spreadsheet. There's a little notes column, and you can type the notes in there. My average approval rate is about 60 to 80% of the suppliers I found on my competitors' sites. Out of those, about 50% approve us within 36 months. And after that, we follow up every 3 to 6 months, check back, and keep building our relationship with the ones that don't approve us. And eventually we get approved with almost all of them, especially if our competitors already have. And that's a big note there, is that if you have online competitors that have, you can ask them if those competitors are bringing them sales or not, and then talk about how many sales you're getting on the other brands, their competitive brands, and then compare that and say, why don't you drop them and bring us on board instead, because we have a real marketing plan. We're professionals. So that's how I do it, guys, and just be prepared for that. And then the following sections, I'm going to talk about how to find the supplier's contact information, and then how to actually go about contacting them. And it's a pretty easy process. Everybody thinks that getting suppliers is the hardest thing to do. In reality, it's one of the easiest things to do. So with that said, let's move on to the next section. Thanks for watching, guys. See you there. Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to find the contact information for the suppliers that you extracted from your competitors. So go to your dropshipping master spreadsheet and go to your suppliers tab. Not sure why it's so far down. I think that was an accident here. Alright, cool. So go ahead and take the first name, copy that, pull up Google, and then type it into Google. Usually it works this way. If you can't find it for some reason, comment below and let me know your issue with finding the supplier. But usually if you just take the name and put it into Google, it shows up fine. The instances where you can't find it through Google very easily usually has to do with the supplier name being very generic. So you'll find that a lot in the furniture niche. And so definitely let me know. There are some ways to find the suppliers, and sometimes those suppliers are like sub-suppliers of bigger distributors. So like, for instance, if a Monty Fireplaces wasn't the company itself, if it was actually owned by a big umbrella company, and that big umbrella company had like 10 or 15 brands underneath it that it was a distributor for, you would have to get an account with that big umbrella company, not with that brand. Some other instances could come up where you can only get an account with one brand of a big umbrella company, or maybe there's a certain distributor salesperson you work with that sells a bunch of different brands and you only get one account with one brand. So anyways, it can get confusing like that sometimes, but usually this is a good way to do it. So you just go to their website, and then you find their about page or contact page. Of course, you can also look for a become a dealer or an online dealers page. And this is one of those first types of suppliers I love to work with, is the people that have online dealers already. And the coolest thing about this is that now you get to extract from all these other online dealers, because now they're basically telling you these are your competitors, whether they have a physical storefront or not. They're online dealers. So look, Modern Blaze are competitors right there. So you'll also be getting a link here when you become a supplier. And right over here on the right side it says become a dealer. So now we're going to click there. And look, they have our dealer application form right here. So we don't even have to email or call them first to get this. Usually you'll have to email or call first to get their application form. And here you can just fill it out, and then you can send a inquiry into their email support, and then they should get back to you and let you know that you're approved. So here it says dealer locator information, and looks like that's what they have. So I'm gonna fill this out now, but I'm not gonna fill it out right now. I'm gonna show you how to fill out these applications in the coming videos. Here is just to get this information. So what we're going to do is, first and foremost, put the URL of the website into the form here. And then we want to get their phone number. So to get their phone number, usually it's in their contact page. So let's go to contact. Okay, so they have a Western Canada, Eastern Canada, there we go, USA, order desk contact. USA customer service contact. Okay, well this is an actual person. So we're going to go ahead and put that person's email in there, and then the phone number for that actual person. And since it's giving us the contact name, we'll put that there as well. We won't always have the contact name, but that's good to have. And of course the address, if they have an address here, is always good to locate, and here it is. And having the address in here will make it a lot easier later on when you need to refer back to that. All right, so that's all the contact information. And then under contact notes, since we've already found this, we can go ahead and put dealer application PDF link, and just put the link there. And now it's really easy to find that link again. Now these three columns are going to be for after you get that account, you're going to ask them for their price sheet, their UPC code sheet, and any additional assets like pictures or videos. All right guys, so go ahead and fill out the rest of all the contact information for your suppliers right now. And also, if you find that there are competitors like this, you can go ahead and take that link that you find there, go to the spreadsheet, add them under competitors, and put other competitors, and put the link there, okay? Just like that. It's really simple to do, really easy, and you'll be able to look into those later on and see what the deal is with those, okay? So with that said, guys, we'll get into the next section. I wanted to show you what the new dealer account application template looks like. This is what you'll send by email. I've created this and optimized it so that it will definitely convince the supplier to approve you right away and to get you that dealer application. So most of the suppliers will probably approve you by email, and then some of them will require a phone call follow-up, and that phone call follow-up will just be to make sure that you're a real person who's sending this. So as far as the phone call goes, you're just going to be repeating the same stuff that is here on this email script. Basically who you are and what you do, and why you believe they're a good fit for the website, and why you believe you're a good fit to sell their products, the marketing plan, and then your story and what you're mostly focused on, which is customer service and being an expert in the space, right? So with that said, you can go ahead and fill in the blanks here. I made bold the parts that you need to fill in. So name, the products, which is your niche, your domain name, your phone number, your name here. If you have different business hours, you can fill that in, but it doesn't really matter. Your about page here, which is important. You want to make sure that you put the proper link there. Okay, and then fill in this information down here, obviously. It's really important that you have your phone number in here. And you include your email and your URL. Sometimes I have suppliers tell me, oh, what's your URL, even though I clearly said it like 5 times throughout the email. So just have the URL down here anyways. With that said, guys, that's the application. You can see this link to this right here, and then all you have to do is hit File and make a copy, or you can download as a PDF, right? You should have view access to this, so just make a copy on your own drive, in your own Google Drive for your G Suite, and then fill in the blanks and get ready to send the emails out to the suppliers. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you what it looks like to create one of these messages, these new dealer application emails. So in my spreadsheet here, I've pulled up the suppliers list that I created, and I'm going to email a Monty first. So I'm going to send an email to Brian. So go ahead and log into your email, add Brian to the to form, or add the email to the to form, and go to your new dealer account application template, copy the subject line, okay, and then copy the entire email, which you should have filled in by now. And then go ahead and copy that, paste that in there, and just give it one more brief overlook and make sure everything looks right. I realized that there was something off here. Okay. Just make sure your phone number's in there, hours are correct, everything looks good. And the other thing I realized that's good to do is actually add their brand name in here. So what I'm going to do is, instead of changing it your brand, I'm going to make it the name of their brand. So Monty, A-M-A-N-T-Y, TII, electric fireplaces. And of course I want to double check that they actually sell electric fireplaces. It could be one of those other product lines that that website had, so always double check before sending your email just so you sound like you know what you're talking about. And yes, they do. They sell built-in electric fireplaces. That'd be great. Okay, cool. So this email is done and everything is filled out correctly. The last thing you can do is actually add an image of your logo to the email. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. And if you actually can do it this way first, so that it's done in the future, what you can do here is, I believe you can save a draft. If you just exit out, it'll be under drafts. So you can go down to signature and change this and say warm regards, and then your name, and then you say your website, or just say owner. And then say all the stuff that was in the template at the bottom, phone, URL, email. Okay. And then add a logo. So insert the image. Do that right now. Okay, and then I realized that my microphone's not even in. Oh, hopefully you guys could hear me there. So when you choose the image, it's going to say original size. Just mark it large so it stands out pretty good. And then go down to the bottom and hit Save Changes. Okay, and then you can go back to Drafts, pull it up. And for this one, you'll just have to add it manually. Okay, looks like I'll have to upload it, which is fine. Okay, so I added it manually this time, but you guys can do the signature thing first. And yeah, so that's how it goes. So, and oh, by the way, if you know the contact person's name, which we do in this case, it's Brian, we're going to just go ahead and put that in there. So Brian. Instead of saying your brand, oh, I think yeah, I actually changed it in here. I shouldn't have. Brand. So I'm going to go ahead and do that here now. I'm going to change that a little bit to product line. Sounds better than products. Okay, cool. So we're all done here, and then you can go ahead down to send later. And you want to do it at a certain time. So I want it sent today at 2 p.m. Thursday, May 3rd, 2 p.m. I think that would be technically tomorrow, but it's not letting me set it as yesterday. I'm not exactly sure if that's correct here. Oh, you know why? Because I'm in Bangkok time, so it's not going to let me do it on Wednesday, even though Wednesday is the time I want back home. Well, normally you would hit confirm, and now it's scheduling the message. All right, and it's been successfully scheduled, and you can go up here and click Manage Scheduled Messages if you'd like to manage that yourself, and choose your account. And under Messages to Send Later, you should be able to see that. And Reschedule, Send Now, or Don't Send are the options. And it's actually around 1:30 p.m. Wednesday, so I'm going to go ahead and just send it now. But the only thing about it was that I wanted to edit it because I wanted to make sure the boomerang function was chosen also. So I'm going to go ahead and edit that. Let me choose the boomerang function in this particular one. So I'm going to do another one and use that. But I'm going to go ahead and send it now. So that's done. So the email was sent out. And just wanted to also show you guys, double check that you don't actually have their products on the site, because you did import a bunch of them, so that's good. So they're not there. You do want to have plenty of products. You just don't want to have them from that particular brand, because if they look at your website and they see their brand on there, they're going to say, well, how do you have it on there already? And you could say, if that happens by accident, you can say, hey, I have it, I'm getting it from a distributor. And if they say who, you can just tell them Amazon.com. And then they'll be wondering, how you do your business model, and you'll say, well, we get accounts with, suppliers and stuff like that. Or you could, you just, bottom line, you just want to, type it in there. And like, for instance, we're going to try to get an account with Touchstone. I think that is one of these brands. So I'm going to want to make sure that I remove Touchstone's products before I send that email. And that's all. And there should be plenty of brands on your website where you don't have them on the, you know what I mean? Like these you're not going to try to get an account with Willis. You probably won't try to get a Tennyson. You won't, you know what I mean? So all that is fine. With that said, guys, I'm going to do one more. And let's see here. So I'm going to go ahead and mark it under here, email sent. That would be Wednesday. So technically May 2nd, 1:30 p.m. And leave it at that. Okay, ambiance, I remember we couldn't find them, so we're going to leave that for later. Since I sent an email, I'm going to go ahead and color it. Let's just use a color coding system like blue. Doesn't really matter. I'll just call it orange. Orange's email has been sent, or something like that. You can come up with your own color coding system. So ambiance, we're not going to do it yet. Anywhere Fireplace, let's go ahead and contact them. So actually, it looks like they had a dealer application form that we could fill out. And we're supposed to fill this out and then send it into their email. So I can go ahead and do that. But for now, I'll go ahead and get in touch with BioBlaze. Let's go ahead and do that. Looks like Patrick, maybe, at BioBlaze. So I'll send an email to both of these. How about that? So we'll go ahead and get back into the email. Compose. All right. Grab info and grab Patrick. And then we'll copy and paste the dealer app over. Okay, I'm going to keep it at that. I've got to plug my computer in here. I'm just going to go ahead and try to get this done right away. Okay, looking good so far. Now that I've created that, I can actually get rid of this. And that's fine. So let's go ahead and do this. Okay. So instead of brand, we're going to change it to, what is it, BioBlaze? Okay, and should be good. Make sure the phone number was correct there. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm ready to go ahead and send this email in. Everything's checked out and it's filled out properly, which is great. All right, I filled in the brand name here, which is good. So I'm ready to go ahead. This one I'm actually going to check to Boomerang, and I'm going to make it in 1 day. Let's just do it in 2 days. Give them 48 hours if no reply. And then we're going to just go ahead and send it now, since it's about that right time to send it. So boom, on the way. All right, cool. So now let's make a note there. And that was BioBlaze. I'm going to go ahead and put this here. That, and then email sent. We're going to mark this whole thing orange. Cool. All right, so these guys have a contact form. It's a little bit different process since they don't have an email. Yeah, and it says right there, contact form. Cool. So what we're going to do is go ahead and enter the name and the email. and check that, I guess. New dealer application. There it is. Okay, and the message. And since it's a contact form, I'm not going to send this whole thing. I'm just going to send this part here. It's shorter. And again, I want to make sure that they sell electric fireplaces. And they don't, they sell fire pits, it looks like. Okay. So we're going to change that to fire pits. Oh, and I need to change something really quick. All right, so everything is good, and hopefully this works out. And if for some reason they call and they have to leave a message, that's perfectly fine, and I can just call them back. My time tomorrow night, their time sometime in the morning, no big deal. Anytime is perfect for a callback. The sooner the better. So I'll go ahead and submit on this one, and I will end this video. I'm going to do some more videos as I go about the more applications below, because it's going to be a little different for each one. And then I can show you guys after that how to fill out the applications themselves. And we already have an application to fill out here, which is kind of cool. So I get to show you how to do that. And it's a really easy process, but there are some things you have to be aware of. So we'll see you guys in the next video. Alright guys, so in this video I'm going to show you what it looks like when you get an email back from a supplier and they've pretty much approved you already. They just need you to fill out the application so that they can do final approvals and final checkovers that your business information adds up, and you'll basically be able to add their products to your website. So I just sent this email about 20 minutes ago, and I already got an email back from the guy. His name is Brian, and he's at Amonte. So he sent me a series of emails. This sometimes happens. It's kind of rare though. This means that they're a really good supplier usually, is because they have all their systems in place and processes and stuff like that. So it's pretty awesome to see this happening. So I know this is definitely a supplier I want to work with. Now it looks like these are all automated emails, and this one is the reply. So I'm going to look at the reply. So he said, "Hi Trevor, thank you. I've sent you a series of emails. Had a chance to review. Please give me a call directly. I'm at this number, extension 1. Look forward to working with you." So I'll definitely give him a call soon, and I'll start the email. Now I want to definitely take a look here and see what the emails are all about. So it looks like they have 3 different brands under one distributorship: Amonte, Canned Heat, and Sierra Flame. So I'll go ahead and take a look at my suppliers list here. Canned Heat is not there, and Sierra Flame is not there. So we may have gotten 3 suppliers, possibly, with one application, which is kind of cool as well. And let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look and read these emails. Looks like he's got e-commerce terms here. So he's got freight terms. He's got co-op advertising allowance, which is really cool. I've seen that happen in some of the best suppliers you can work with. Good warranty, 2-year warranty. It does have a returns policy. Looks like they do not accept any returns and are not equipped to inspect, refurbish, or repackage products. So they don't have a return policy, which is interesting. So we will have to work that into our return policy, that they don't have a return policy. Looks like there's a 35% discount off of MSRP. That's basically our margin. So that's great to see. Hopefully they have a MAP policy that fits in that too. Strict MAP policy, 0 tolerance for MAP violators. That's great to see as well. That's what we want to work with. Okay. All right, so this looks good. I'd like to see that. Let's go ahead and look at the next email. So it looks like what he sent me was warranty, some sales pamphlets, USA list price, okay, and then parts list. So let's go take a look at the list price, and it's 35% off. What I want to see is what that map price is, if they have that listed here. It looks like MSRP possibly is map, so I'll just have to confirm that over the phone with him. Looks like they have products that are really high priced, which is good to see. And so if that is the map, then we can definitely make some money selling their products, which is really cool. So it's worth the marketing efforts. Okay. Looks like Remy is a brand of theirs as well, and Remy was down here. So it's really cool to see that we'll get possibly 4 new suppliers with just one contact, which is definitely something that happens throughout dropshipping and e-commerce. Okay, that's great. We can sign up for them too. And looks like they sent me some PDFs and stuff like that. All right, so I wanted to make an update to this video that I just went ahead and filled out the application, sent it in. I didn't have to even call him or anything, and got set up with an account. So I am set up with Amonte, Remy, and Sierra Flame now. This is a supplier that offers 3 different brands through one company. So you might find that a lot where one company offers multiple brands. And it's really cool because then you have multiple brands on your website beyond just the one you thought you were going to apply for. So not only that, I've actually been able to get on board with a few other suppliers as well. So I think I have close to 5 or 6 suppliers on. So I'm going to get all their products added to the site, and it's going to be really good. One thing I want to make you guys aware of is that sometimes suppliers will call you right after you send them the application. And you don't have to call them back right away, but if you do, it makes you look really professional. And if you call them back within a day or 2, then you'll definitely get the account set up. They usually want to speak to a person and make sure that you're a real company and stuff like that. Sometimes suppliers won't email you back, and then you will have to call them to initiate the conversation again. And usually the call just goes the same way as the email goes. You just start off by explaining you're an online dealer of whatever niche you're in, and then you want to set up a dropship dealer account or an e-commerce account or an online retailer account. And then if they're accepting new dealers, they'll go ahead and just send you the application. They might ask you a few questions about yourself, in which case you can get down into the script a little bit more about how you offer your services to them as a dealer. Okay, and focus on your customer service, guys, because that's the main thing they want to know, is that you're taking care of your customers. And then, of course, the other thing they want to know is how you're going to bring them sales. So focus on your marketing methods, which are Google Shopping and Facebook ads and content marketing and email marketing. Those are the main marketing methods we'll be using. So that's it. Get into it, contact your suppliers, and definitely get that work done. It'll pay off in the long run to get as many suppliers as you possibly can. And every month, go back and look for new suppliers and contact ones that you didn't get approved with at first, because that's going to help you build your business in the long run. If there's any more updates that need to be made to this lesson in the future, I'll go ahead and do that, so you can see those below if they are made, and go ahead and move on to the next lesson. Alright guys, so in this video I wanted to show you what a dealer application looks like and how to fill it out. So this is a dealer application from a supplier called BioBlaze. And he sent it to me as a link in the email here, and it opens up in a Dropbox. Every application will look different, by the way, but they're all going to include some of the same information and questions in them. So they're all going to include the full legal name of your business, your first name and last name, address, city, zip code, country, area with phone with area code, mobile, email, tax exempt, and you always put yes, your email. Some of them will ask for your bank details, and it's totally okay to send that to them. This is a supplier, and they just want to make sure that you are a valid company, because they can call that bank and ask and verify that you are a real company. And then the billing details, which will be all of your billing information for your credit card, as well as your business details. And you'll put no, you don't have a physical store. You don't have to put the address in there. Yes, you have a website. And yes, you run a web shop site. They'll all say that differently. These guys happen to be based in Belgium, I believe. Yeah, in Belgium. So there you go. Anyway, shipping details, if different from the general address, which you usually don't have to put, and then your signature. So that's it. And then some of them actually ask for references. So if this is your first supplier account, as far as references go, you can just leave that blank. And if they require it, like if they come back and say, hey, we require some references, then you can definitely like put names of like general suppliers on there and stuff like that. And it's very unlikely that they're ever going to actually call those people to check. And if you're really struggling with that specifically, I'm going to give you a website right now where you can actually get like really broad suppliers for just about anything that's related to your niche, hopefully, and you can get on board with them really easily. So let me show you that really quick. Website called Inventory Source, and they have a supplier directory of dropshippers. Now, I don't ever suggest actually using these dropshippers that are in their directory, but if you can't get approved with a supplier and it's your first one for some reason and they're requiring a reference, then definitely look through their supplier directory and just find something that's relevant to your store and send that person some sort of a supplier application. Okay, but with that said, it's definitely very easy to get applied with to get applications approved with suppliers that don't require references. So just try to get approved with one first that doesn't require references if that happens to you. Okay, that's my best advice there. With that said, guys, fill all this out. I am going to create a template so that you can fill out that template with all of your business information in it, so you don't have to keep looking back into spreadsheets and stuff like that to find it all. So you can find a link to that below this video, and it should be a really easy way. You just fill that template in with all of your information. You can use that same information to fill out supplier applications in the future, or you can hand that off to a virtual assistant in the future to fill out supplier applications. But the key here, guys, I want to really stress this, is that once you get your first supplier like approved and on board, you can start building your site out and optimizing it and sending traffic. You don't have to wait to get a bunch of suppliers. In fact, you really don't. You want to get your first supplier approval and then just get off to the races. But most likely you'll get at least a few supplier approvals. So for instance, like with this course, I sent 3 emails out and I already got 2 approvals. Right? This one didn't write back, so I'll have to call them. But with that said, I'm going to just go with that right now. And I'm going to then jump into building the site out, doing the optimizations and stuff like that, doing the email marketing, setting all the ads up and stuff like that, and then start running ads and launching the site. Because at that point, we can get our first sale, and we can really focus on organizing the products from just those few brands. So it'll be a lot easier to manage at first. And then once that happens, then we can start growing. We can start building and getting more suppliers at that point. And we'll have more of a better website as well to show suppliers. All right, guys, so I hope that all made sense. Go ahead and fill out the dealer application once you get it and hop into the next video when you're done. All right, guys, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to use an app called DocHub with Gmail so that you can fill out supplier applications without having to download it and re-upload it. So it's really easy to use, and I think it's a good idea. I got this supplier application from a second supplier, so this is the second supplier I'm approved with, and it turns out this supplier called Amonte actually owns and operates a few different brands, so I'm getting more like 3 or 4 different suppliers with this one, which is really cool. So it's going to be a bit of work, but that's okay. So first things first, when you get the email and it's an attachment like this in Gmail, you can click whatever it is and hit this open with at the top and hit connect more apps. Okay, and then when this loads, you just type in DocHub and hit enter. Okay, and then connect. All right, now it's connected. So now you can hit open with DocHub, and that's going to open a new window, and it's going to make an editable version of your document, just like it would be a PDF on your computer. All right, so I'm going to log in with my account here and allow. All right, guys, just waiting for it to load. I'll pause the video. Well, no, that's good. Okay. All right, so as soon as it loads, I'll show you around. At the top here we go. At the top, you'll see that there is a button for text, and there's a button to sign. So those are the main ones you'll be using. So all you do is scroll down, and I'm going to go ahead and enter my information here. But I'm going to show you as if it was your information. So you just hit the little thing and hit type that, and then go up here. They want the dealer legal business name and DBA. So legal business name LLC DBA fireplacedirect.com as if it was yours. Add the date. Okay, and then down here, signature. So to do a signature, you just hit sign and then create signature and then draw. And you can literally just draw whatever you want as your signature. Save as the default and then sign, and you can click that and bring it down here and just spread it so it's about even. and boom, all your information is entered. Now the next thing you can do is you can download it, and then you can attach it to the email, or you can share and send it. I just recommend doing the download and upload, just because sharing and sending, what it does is it sends it to them in a separate email. It's a way better just to reply to that email with that. So obviously download's the rest of the process is pretty straightforward, but that's how to use DocHub. Highly recommend using it, and definitely make it easier on yourself to do this kind of stuff, and also save paper so you don't print stuff out. Okay, hope that makes sense. If you guys have any questions about DocHub, let me know. Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to talk about what you need to get from the suppliers when you get approved. So, as you can see here, I made a list, and I also made it really easy for you. In the Dropshipping Master Spreadsheet template, I added columns and titles for each one of these. So as you'll see here, the first ones you'll be filling out are all the way up to here. And then you're going to get the login and password if they have an online dealer portal for you, and your specific representative contact at the supplier. And then you're going to get the order email, so an email address you send orders to. Some suppliers have these, some suppliers don't. Like, not every supplier has them, so just be mindful of that. And then you'll have a price sheet link, UPC sheet link, inventory sheet link, then a link to their return policy and warranty policy. And sometimes they combine all those in one, so if they do, you just put it under one column, right? But this is just a good way to keep track of things. Images link, so if they have like a specific Dropbox folder, for instance, of images, and sales videos, so if they have a YouTube channel with sales videos on them. And then bestsellers, you can kind of just put it right in here, and one hack is you can even right click and go down to insert note, and then you can make a whole list of the bestsellers right there. And then online dealer link, so basically the page on their website where they list all their online dealers, you want to have a link to your website there too. So you can either just say yes, or you can actually put a link to their online dealer page there. So that'll help you fill all this out, guys. Again, the link is in the description below this video as well, or the list of these is below the video as well, but I'll include a link to this tab of the Dropshipping Master Spreadsheet. So if you downloaded it before, I actually just updated it, so you can update your sheet according to this as well. Hopefully that helps. And yeah, you just need to get all these, so you can easily send them an email just requesting them, or like if they already sent you a few of these, they just didn't send you the other ones, you can get those too. You don't need all of them up front to start, but the ones you really do need are the price sheet, the UPC sheet, return and warranty policy, images, and you also need to have the the order email. So with those, you can list the products online, get them approved in the shopping campaigns, and then when you get your first order, you'll be able to send it to them. In the future, of course, you can upgrade your sales pages by using the sales videos and stuff like that, and focus your marketing on the best sellers, and then get that link that's kind of later on down the road. That's why it's farther down here. All right, so with that said, get all that stuff from your dealers or from your suppliers and start adding it to your website. In the next videos, I'll be showing you how to do that.